Argylle, directed by Matthew Vaughn, was released on Friday. It's been excessively advertised and been shoved down pretty sure all of our throats as of late. I have to kind of keep my voice down a little bit in this review because I am at my grandmother's. I'm staying there for the weekend, but I did get a chance to go and see Argylle, and yeah, let's get right into my thoughts here. I like a lot of Matthew Vaughn's filmography. I think his style has become really outdated as of recently. We've just seen it done to death, and I think Kingsman, while the first one, while initially was a really good movie, I think it's still holds up as like a fun action thriller with Matthew Vaughn's like signature style. I think that movie had a lot of negative influence on the action genre as a whole, and kind of made them really homogenized and samey feeling a lot of the time. A lot of action films do feel like Kingsman ripoffs, and that movie isn't even that fantastic to begin with. It promoted a lot like a lack of substance for this really mundane style. I do really think that Matthew Vaughn excels in the superhero genre. His X-Men First Class was a breath of fresh air for that genre. I really think that is the strongest in that series, if I'm being honest, besides like Logan. And then Kick-Ass is one of my favorite superhero films to date. So he is a strong filmmaker. I've seen his style work before, and it's not really his fault that his imitators have just been everywhere at the last like 5 or so years, or even you could say 10 or so years. But with his last movie, The King's Man, like I feel like he's running that franchise into the ground. I really did not connect with that movie at all. It had a very interesting premise, but really underutilized it and became kind of, I don't know, again, homogenized. And with Argylle, I just was not impressed with what I was seeing with the trailers at all. It seemed almost like an AI generated film at times. It felt very half-assed, and especially with it coming out so early in the year, those movies never, I don't know, they never really hit the mark like they're supposed to. And wow, Argylle is a shining example of why nobody goes to the movie theaters in January and February. This is a steaming pile of dog shit. I hated Argylle. And I didn't know that Matthew Vaughn had this bad of a film in him. I didn't know that everybody involved with Argylle was going to completely phone in every performance, every camera shot. The VFX artists should never work on any movie ever again. So let's kind of break this down and talk about why Argylle was just a colossal failure. The performances. There are so many talented actors in this movie, more talented actors than what they normally get for this kind of thing. This cast is stacked. You have Sam Rockwell, who has proven himself again and again. You have Bryan Cranston, who I personally think is one of the best actors we have, I think, of the 21st century. Then you have Samuel L. Jackson as well. I mean, he's normally in these kinds of movies, but he's shown his talents time and time again. Bryce Dallas Howard, I really, really like her. She needs to get a new agent. I think she is not in a ton of great stuff, but I think she brings a really awesome presence to any movie that she's in, and I think she commits to roles a lot more than I don't know, a lot of other actors really do of her caliber. And then like Henry Cavill isn't even remotely trying in this thing. It was just so strange to watch so many talented people just completely phone it in for a paycheck. And I mean, I've never seen this much of a lazy effort from this caliber of actor. Catherine O'Hara is one of my favorite comedic actors, and she could have added so much to this film, and she just didn't. Nobody chose to put in any effort with this thing, and it felt like by the end of the film you could feel the actors just wanting to be done with this movie, wanting to be done with this shoot, and it was just so evident in every scene. The cinematography was kind of gross, if I'm being honest. It's one of the most butt ugly films I have seen in a really long time, and I'm talking like the worst camera work you could possibly imagine. And again, Matthew Vaughn, I feel like even with his faults, even with kind of his style over substance approach, normally the style is there. With movies like The Kingsman and The King's Man, and then like Golden Circle, The Secret Service, all those movies that I'm not a huge fan of, at least the camera work is there. At least he makes it visually pleasing. With this, he's not even trying, not even remotely. It's either so poorly executed, or so bland and so static and so Netflixy that it could be, I wouldn't be shocked if they told me they filmed this on an iPhone. It looks that atrocious. And the VFX in this movie are so lazy, and it really just seems like again, a amateur YouTuber using green screen for the first time. Like, I feel like if I made a movie when I was like 11 years old, this is what it would look like. I mean, it's just every decision made in this movie, it was such a poor one, and was so obviously not out of passion, not out of a creative voice, not out of some sort of artistic expression, but out of pure wanting to get paid. And I think that is the ultimate sin that a movie can commit. Take something, for example, like earlier this year, Night Swim. That movie was god-awful. I mean, it made a poor decision, and in every direction, it was just a baffling movie to every extent. But at least it was trying, Like, at least that movie did something unique and ridiculous and swung for the fences. It missed hard, but at least that made an entertaining film. This is just pure laziness. And honestly, I think it's very worrisome for action blockbusters. Thank God this movie is bombing right now, because if this was if this was starting a trend, I would be very, very upset. So I'm going to give Argylle an F. I hated this movie. This is honestly one of my least favorite films that I've had to review for this channel so far. Matthew Vaughn, what the fuck are you doing? Everybody in the cast, why did you sign on to this? Do you owe the studio money? Man, what a colossal failure. So that's my review for Argylle. I hope you guys liked it. I'm going to be putting out a video of 3 movies that I saw in January. I think, or 4. It might be 4 movies that I saw in January that I didn't get a chance to give a single review to for whatever reason. And then my best of the year list is finally written. I filmed the first part of it. I just need to find time to film the second part with Cam, but those will be coming out soon, thank God. Yeah, other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and especially comment. I really like seeing your guys' comments. And, if you have suggestions for videos, if any movies you want to see me review, let me know down below. And, yeah, I'll see you guys later.